Good morning, traders! Who's ready to get it started? Back into the hot seat. We had a great day yesterday. Was even able to nail an Apple trade towards the end of the trading stream. Have the swing trades all looking great right now. Let's get right to the action. You know where you're at. Live trading with Benzinga. Zunaid riding in the back. Smash the like. Let's see if we can get 200 before the bell opens today. If not, I'm not sticking past 10:30. I want to be here till 11, but I need you guys. Feedback. Let me know. Thumbs up, thumbs down. I won't be too mad. I just want to know what you guys think about live trading. Let's get to the action.
Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Those words have been dancing around my head all night. I mean, it's Vegas lore, that phrase.
Good morning. Hola, mi amigos. ¿Cómo estamos? Let's go. Let's get it going.
What's up? Good
All
morning,
right,
fellas.
Zunaid in the house. What's going on?
What is up?
What's up, boys? All right, let's get to it. Let's take a look here. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Matthew, Laura, just sending me scuba. I want to learn how to scuba dive, man. I really do.
It's fun. I did that
Alicia, Bug, Chase.
It,
hey, we might have to do something like that, Ryan. We might have to look into that. All right, let's keep it going, team. Let's take a look into the markets. I'm going to really quickly just dive into some of the stocks that I'm looking at. Then we can go into kind of a market outlook with Ryan. I'm sure he has some good news for us with, of course, the trusty Benzinga Pro. And just for that mention, you guys want to go ahead and get Benzinga Pro, of course, pro.benzinga.com. And holy crap, why is my window like tripping out? You guys see that?
Did it start with
on the right side?
Coke
see that?
and weed today? Maybe
I think the charting platform or the charting tools might have gotten into some of that.
Now. It's fixed now.
All right. Let's take a look really quickly. I'm going to really run through some of these trades that I'm looking at, right? X, you guys saw me get into this one yesterday, add towards it. Swing trade from 29.18. Original entry was kind of like at 29.10. I added to it yesterday, boosting me up towards 29.18. We'll look for this to continue towards 30 and 31. This is a sell the rip, buy the dip mentality. Made 6% last week, looking to make 4% on it this week. Keep on going. See, one for my man Zunaid, right? Zunaid was talking about, why would you trade Kroger's? Well, I went after the Sprouts yesterday. Still in this one, swing trading on this one. We'll look to see if this really gets moving today. It did get a little bit of a print that read up here. I don't even know if much volume got filled there. I see like 60 shares. So I could have maybe just sold up there into the 34s in the pre-market. We'll see if we get a little bit of a boost on this one. And if Kroger's can keep going. Kroger's did keep going into the close yesterday. We'll see if this one can keep pushing towards the 48. SEDG, another one that I'm looking at. Solar name. Will we get Solar to get a lift today? Yesterday, it was Max N with a big push, right? Towards the close, FSLR started to come back. EMPH started to come back. I have SEDG. We'll see what happens there. ASO is the only one that's slightly into the red. We'll see if this one can open towards 61 or does it take out 60s on the downturn. DKS is why I've been looking at ASO. We'll look to see if also DKS can continue a lift. AAL is another one, right? That's the last one. We'll look to see if this one gets to the 1670s and towards the 17s. Of course, the SPY today getting up above the 399s. We'll look to see if we get to the 400. Kicking it to you, my friend.
All right. Well, we're going to start with SPY here. We're actually set up nicely to rally here today. Got the jobless claims number, caused the futures to pop here. We're trading up. If we take a look at the SPY chart on the daily, you can see we're actually below this upward sloping trend line, and that might act as resistance today. Let's see if we can actually punch above it. Worth noting that prior to today, we've had two closes below this trend line. Generally speaking, for a longer term trend break, you want to see three closes above or below whatever trend line or support line you're looking at. We'll see if we end up getting that today. The one thing that I would be waiting for here, the one thing that I'm skeptical, remember, I'm still kind of in a bearish phase. So although it looks really good for a rally here, my wonder is, do we trade up a little bit and then reverse and come back down? either to even or to the low. So we're just going to have to wait and see. We'll be able to figure that out as the day goes on. But as far as SPY goes, this is what I'm looking at. Again, good number here this morning. Initial jobless claims 211,000 versus the 195,000 estimate. Continuing claims 1.71 thousand versus 1,700 versus the 1,659 estimate. So we got those numbers. That's what's going on here. We'll see what that actually leads to. Let me go ahead and go through some of the stocks that are on the movers tool here today before I turn it over to Zunaid. First things first that we're going to start with, OCEA. She is back. This was the huge one that we had on like a 660 break, went all the way into the 20s. So a lot of those lines are still drawn on the chart here. I think it was the 639 break. But in any case, those lines are still on the chart here. I actually added this line here today, and we're already taking the next leg up. So first things first, we are extended here this morning. We're up almost 100% this morning. So as always, we would really like to see this come back in before it sets up to move higher. That's going to give us an easier opportunity to trade. The other thing is that the last time we saw this stock go absolutely bananas, it was halted a whole bunch. It was a halt fest. 8 upside halts in a row before it finally retraced and then halted to the downside a couple of times. So just keep that in mind when you're actually trading this. Looks like there are some fireworks early. So we will go ahead and watch OCEA. Next one on here is going to be Asana. Asana, I think that this was earnings, right? Let's see. I think that this was earnings. Yep. So last night they reported earnings and issued strong guidance. That's the catalyst for the move up. And then this morning we got a whole bunch of re-ratings. D.A. Davidson actually upgraded Asana to buy in addition to raising the price target. So a lot of re-ratings here on Asana and an earnings beat. That's going to be your catalyst. So we'll see if this trades. This actually might be a good options trade. We'll take a look at that options chain here in a little bit. Next is going to be HUBC. This is Hub Cybersecurity. Looks like this is just recently spiking. This wasn't on the list here before. Let's see if there's any news. Yep, looks like we just got a PR a couple of minutes ago. Confidential computing cyber solution for the insurance industry. Okay, so it might be worth going through that PR when we've got some downtime. This is giving us an opportunity. Stocks popping 16.5% here. Looks like we actually took out the top side of the range from the last couple of days. So let's see where this settles. UNCY, this is back. This has been on the list a couple of times. We got a trade on this yesterday. See if we get another one here today. One of the things I really like about this stock is that we actually traded up to 210, came back in, and now we're kind of holding there. So would love to see that. Would love to see this trade sideways a little bit. Maybe a volume expansion through that VWAP that would give us an actionable signal to trade. Next two here real quick, ATXI. This one's actually kind of retraced a lot of that move. So I really want this to kind of firm up and show some strength before we try to trade this. I think there might be some better options for us, especially early on. When I say early on, I just mean relatively. I'm still going to be waiting here around the open. Not going to take anything off that opening print. That has not gone well for me for the most part. So I'm going to try to stick to what is working here. Last one here is going to be CLNN. This one also trading up here a bit. Went as high as 161. Did we have a catalyst on this one? I can't remember. Yeah, we did. Clean. This is it right here. Clean. I think that's how it's pronounced. Announced CNMAU8 associated with delayed time to key clinical progression events for 6 months, supporting a survival benefit in the ALS platform trial. So looks like some good ALS data here that is causing CLNN to trade up. This is what we're going to be watching here out of the open. I think we're going to get some pretty good trading opportunities here today. At least I'm hoping so. So we'll see what else is going on. The other good news here is that we started off with a hole-in-one on the Island Green at TPC Sawgrass today. So all of you golf fans out there, hopefully that is the start of a really, really exciting day. Zunaid, that's all I got for right now. You ready, my man?
Let's do it. I'm going to go ahead and start things off here with Sprouts. Was Mitch here? No, he's not here. I'll come back to this one here. Let me There you go. We'll save that for when Mitch is back. But you've got the SPY here. We talked about the range that it was in yesterday. You finally saw it kind of crack the levels of the Tuesday, and you got a little bit of a move to the downside. Then it finally went ahead and reclaimed in the last 15 minutes of the day as it moved to the upside there. So in terms of levels that I'm keeping an eye on in the SPY, I don't necessarily have one that I really like besides the obvious one of about 400, which is kind of where we are right now. So it'll be interesting to see if we kind of just open and we even go to peak above this, or if we just kind of come on down. I would not be surprised if I decided to take a swing at shorting this one with just a stop loss at higher day. Matter of fact, I'm going to see if I can do that and just kind of see if we can get some quick moves here. We'll risk about $75 there. We'll call it about 100. And then he'll go about. There we go. We'll see if this works out for us. Yesterday we did this where we shorted the SPY kind of right at the open, and it worked out in our favor. So we'll see how things play out. Keep an eye on 300 on the Qs. That could be an area of rejection. So let's go ahead and draw up things on the Qs right around there. So 299.85, 300 area. You can see that's been rejected once, twice, didn't even try the third time fully. So something to keep in mind over there. And then let's see on the bottom side, you can see if we break this 296, we can go ahead and see some downside movement. I'm going to go ahead and mark this puppy off right there. But besides that, not really anything interesting. Just a crack of 300 to the upside is what I would look to play. I was waiting for 150 to go ahead and be tested on Apple. Hasn't been so far. You can see this is the range that I drew out for the past couple of days. We're getting closer to that 154.01 area. Maybe we go ahead and break out to the upside. Maybe we don't. Maybe come right back into the range. Not sure, but we will see what happens. Would not be surprised if this comes back to test 153 and holds. And then we move to the upside on that. You can see that's kind of where you had a bunch of resistance. And then even in pre-market, it kind of found support there. So would not be surprised if this comes back to the 153 and then moves to the upside itself as well. Tesla has been weak so far for the past few days. You can see it's a 15-minute candle. I might have to sneeze here in a minute, but you've just got a downward movement all the way from about the 198 200s to the 176 is what it touched in pre-market. Now you are above the 180 support level. You can see yesterday you had support once, twice, 3, 4, 5, 6. Just kept holding on to that. But now if this goes ahead and cracks 180, I think you can go ahead and see 178 and then 176, which is a pre-market low. So if you're looking for a bounce play, maybe 176 is where you want to hold on to on ticker TSLA. I'm going to go ahead and draw that puppy right there. There we go. That's good. Let's go ahead and talk about AMD. Mitch had a really nice trade on this one. Still waiting for the crack of 86 to the upside if you want to play this one long with calls or equity itself. But the one trade that we took yesterday was NVIDIA. You saw those 250 calls coming in on the ask that were expiring this week. They had over $100,000, $200,000 worth. And so if you guys held on to this one, it should be interesting. I would go ahead and hold on to these. If you were in calls, I would hold on to them till about 240. If 240 cracks on the 5 or the 15 minute, I would go ahead and get out. But you can see, even though the market, so this is what the market did. Here, actually, let me see if I can just talk about it like this. When the market was kind of struggling and headed to the downside, you had NVIDIA that kind of held on strong. It was up about 4%, moved 9 points there to the upside. Now we want to see a crack of about 242.50, which you can see that on Monday was the high. So we're waiting to pop above that. 240 test is where I'd look to go ahead and get long on this one on a bounce. And of course, if you're trying to play the breakout, it'd be the 242.49, 242.50 area there. Let's see if Google's 96 was ever cracked. It wasn't. Would you look at that? So on Monday, you had that as a high. Yesterday, you had that as a high as it came rejecting on down. So it's still within the range that I have here. Bottom side is 93.20s. If it does go ahead and crack that, I think it'd be a good short. 93 crack to the downside could be interesting on that one. And then let's see what else we've got. Microsoft, the 250 test never really came, bounced around the 251 area. Looks like 250.79 or so, and then moved to the upside on that one. So if it gets down to 250, I think that could be a bounce play. And if it breaks 250 on the 15-minute candle, I'd look to go short on ticker MSFT. We've got about less than 2 minutes till the market opens. On Meta, if you're looking to play this one long, it's the 189.50 area that I still have an alert set out on. So if we go ahead and break this to the upside on this one, especially if options come in, this is definitely one that I would be interested in. Let me see where... And this is the other stock that we had talked about trading when you broke the 210 area, coming on down, and it finally found support at 206.08, which we can see here. You had resistance, popped above, held the support, moved to the upside, and that's exactly where it found support as well. This VRAX, a dollar move. I tried to play this off of $1. There just wasn't a volume. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this one as there is nothing there whatsoever. Let's come back to let's come back to NVIDIA, because a part of me wants to go long NVIDIA here in the pre-market, but we are less than a minute away. Because what I don't want is to go long NVIDIA and then it comes back to test this 240. And then by that time, I'm already down $200 if I want to take 100 shares. That doesn't make sense to me at all. So what I'm going to go ahead and instead do is I'm going to look to see if I can go ahead and grab 100 shares of NVIDIA. And it looks like it's because I have some other trades out. Okay, that's cool. Looks like it's pre-market. What trades do I have out? It's because I have the SPY trade out, so I don't have enough money. I'm broke. Let me see. Maybe I should. All right, Mitch, you're back. You want to talk about Sprouts?
Sprouts?
Yeah.
What's up with
Look,
it?
I was saying who's day trading Sprouts. If you want to swing trade it, it's different. But if you get
No, you were
excitement
talking
over a
about
50
Kroger's.
cent hold on.
You were
Yeah,
talking about
Kroger.
Kroger's.
Yeah, but then you
let's
brought
get it
up
right.
Sprouts.
Don't get it twisted.
If you enjoy a 50-cent move in
Gloves
a
are
day
off,
trading
folks.
session, if that's what excites you in life, amen. But I
It
wish you
does.
best of luck in your day
It
trade,
excites
bro.
me.
Here you go. You got the 400 level.
It's the
possibly
small
being tested on
things.
SPY.
You had young grasshopper. It's a small
Young
thing.
You're
grass-
crazy if you're calling me young grasshopper with a white.
You got to
beard.
say
You're
it's
out of your mind. You're
grasshopper.
getting muted.
Isn't Zunaid older?
Grasshopper.
I think I'm the oldest. No, you'll be the oldest. I'm the second oldest. Yes.
Yeah, thanks for reminding me. I know I'm the oldest Zunaid. You're awesome. By the way, starting with
Young
OCEA
soul, old
here.
soul, baby.
OCEA first move out of the gate here is down. This would actually be great if this came in towards the VWAP, got VWAP at about 757 here. So would love to see OCEA come on in. Needs to keep coming on in here. We shall see where it is, where it ends up.
SEDG looking good here out the gates, starting to push to 328. Let's go, team. Solar, baby. Looking for run on a day trade action. I like this
Let's
pullback
see.
here.
Oh, there it is. Come on.
F sell out of the gate here. Big move. This wasn't on my list here this morning, but we're punching right out of the gate here on F sell. Nice break of those pre-market highs. 361 up towards 380 now. We'll see if F sell can get going.
Run already getting a nice little motor move above 24.25s. I like that pullback level, so I'm going to look for it. Run pushing here, 24.50s now. Just made like a 30-cent move. Doesn't look too bad.
Oh, would you look at that? Cent away from failing me on the short side.
X looking good, team. We're already up about 2% on that. X, nice little push here out the gates, 29.80s. Could look at like maybe a BTU to recover here.
Oh, wish we got that short fill there. We missed it by a penny. As you see, a beautiful move of 50 cents to the downside. All right, I'm going to go to cancel this one. That's unfortunate. Let's lock in on Apple. It's moving down. Where's NVIDIA? NVIDIA tried to test the pre-market highs. Could not break above it with conviction.
OCEA didn't get down to its VWAP, but it got down to the place where it consolidated for a few minutes before taking the most recent leg up, and it is trying to bounce here. Looks like it's bouncing off that 825, 826-ish level. Pretty good volume here as well. As a nice little power move. We're going to have another wild day here in OCEA, I think. Oh man, I was just going to say, can't tell you if it's going to set new highs yet, and bang, it does. It's going to be halted here at 940 if it holds.
Just missed my pullback for run. Going to look for 24.25s here.
All right, so OCEA. So this is actually really good. Really quick, Mitch. I'm going to flip it over to you because now we're in a halt.
Man. Do your thing.
This is exactly the type of movement that I wanted to see out of the open. The only problem here is that it didn't come all the way into VWAP, which is what I was waiting for. This gap in here caused me to miss it. Zunaid, this isn't your patented 1 or 2 cent missed fill. This is a lot larger. right here, but look at what happened, right?
Nice
We
move.
came right back in, found some, this is what I was talking about in terms of the sideways trading for a few minutes. This is where it came to, found some support, buyer stepped in, bang, rammed it to a new high here, and then halted it. So 940 we're halted. This is more than up 1 point on this day trade from the 826. Wild stuff here. This isn't going to be it, folks. This is not going to be it with OCEA. The one more thing that I would say is that if you get a big move just like this, right? We came in towards 825, got a whole bunch of buying and really sent it. Don't be afraid to scale out of some of your position. Make sure that you locked it in. Now that we're in a halt, could it open up higher? Yeah, probably. But make sure you have some of those gains packed away so that even if this doesn't do what you're hoping it's going to do, you still have a little bit of a buffer. That's how I would deal with some of these really crazy ones.
Trying to take a long here on NVIDIA, got in at 242.38. Stop loss is going to be below the lower day here. You also got shop, by the way, moving to the upside. Shop 46-hour calls coming in on the ask, expiring this week, approximately $100,000 worth. A shop moves to the 44.80 area to the upside. I'm going to see if I can go ahead and sell some NVIDIA at 244.68. So it's going to be almost like a 3-to-1 trade for me. It's more like a 2.5-to-1 trade, but NVIDIA moving to the upside, trying to make new highs, trying to break pre-market highs. We are up at the moment, but of course, as we know with my luck, anytime we can go ahead and head to the downside. But there you go. That's the trade. Popped up. Now it's coming back, testing it. Hopefully we can go ahead and maintain it, but nonetheless, lower day, I'm out.
FSEL still really strong here.
If I can get 30s today, I can be all out of X already for the 4% swing. We'll see if I get it.
PayPal going towards highs here. Interesting. This is going towards pre-market highs. What did we have?
SQ's also doing well, right? It's looking like a bullish day to begin with.
Sure is. We want to know is this going to continue or do we reverse here later?
Ooh, I'm feeling the continuation, but like always, you guys make your own decisions.
Yeah.
All right, there's the retest. Now, come on. Go, NVIDIA, especially with the market breaking 400.
UNCY about to break its pre-market high here at 210. UNCY.
ARKK, nice little up move. That shows me on there. Risk on, at least. That's what it seems like. Shop, of course, you guys already heard Zunaid talk about that. Hood with a nice move. Roblox, nice big push. About $1 pop there on the first 5 minutes. Unity with a nice little push. Coin pushing strong. Square. Tesla pushing strong. Roku on the pullback right now. Doesn't look too bad there. But definitely keep your eyes on some of these. Twilio doing well. Zoom having a decent day. So it looks like the growth type of day on right now, especially with Hood, Roblox, and Shop at the top.
UNCY came back into its VWAP here. A little bit of size right under the VWAP. Let's see if this can actually get some more buying volume and move towards the highs here. UNCY.
That was a miss on run this morning. Right out the gates, I wanted to get this around 24.25s. It's already up there to 24.60s. Nice little push there from the solar names today. Array also looking well there. We'll see if we get a pullback on that. SPWR is another one that I'm looking at for pullbacks. Nothing yet, but solar with a nice little lift here to start the day.
You've got NVIDIA coming down, went from green to red at the moment. You've also got the SPY possibility. We're going to retest. There's my NVIDIA stop loss hit. We were in the money as we went nice and green, and then it just said, no, thank you, and then came right on back down. Low of day there. Looks like SPY coming to test the 400. Let's see if it breaks that 400 once again. Stop loss is going to be low of day for me on that trade here as well. Let me go ahead and mark that puppy out.
Speaking of no thank you, UNCY hanging in here, hanging right around that VWAP, trying to bounce here. Let's say if you try this for a bounce play, just have kind of a tight stop. I think if the bottom falls out, this could really kind of knife.
Oil names bouncing back a little bit today. We'll see if those are kind of able to hold there. There's only two sectors in the red from the open: financial services and real estate. I'm looking for
OCEA
financial services to bounce back to get short into some of these major banks.
OCEA is
OCEA.
open here. Let me get it up here real quick. It's not on the scanner. It's open. It's going to be halted to the downside. Halted. 847. So again, one of the things we're talking about with these stocks that are trading really crazy, make sure you book gains along the way. You don't, nobody in here knows where it's going to go and where it's going to stop and where it's going to reverse. Nobody. So the best thing that you can do is use risk management to try and book gains when you have them and protect yourself when you don't have them. This thing opened up and instantly went to 847 and traded a bunch of shares there and is now halted. So just really crazy stuff. I'm not trading this. I'm going to stay away from this. We are going to call it though. We are going to take a look at it here because it's all over the place and it had a huge run recently. But this is the risk that you run here. So just be sure to book some gains here. UNCY trying to curl back through 2 here. With that, might get a nice little bounce play here. UNCY. Let's see if it can take out that top side at 210. That's where it stopped last time. ATXI, you're saying volume is coming in. We took a look at that one. Let me see if I can get that. ATXI. Okay, so yeah, you did. Here's that volume stick that you were talking about. Immediate knife here when it got close to the VWAP. Might be better off playing these curls off the support. See, we've seen that quite a bit on some of these names here.
AMD continuing some strength out the gates here today. That was one of our best trades yesterday. It's continued strong. It's up there towards 86. Yesterday was trading at like 84s. We'll see what happens there on that one.
SPY stalled a little bit here. Market stalled a little bit at this resistance point, but trying to punch through it.
Interestingly enough, you've got a lot of Tesla calls that are coming in. Tesla popping to the upside, goes from red to green, tested at 184s, rejecting by about 70 cents thus far. Our SPY trade is up about 50 cents in the money as well.
I see some 185s going through on Tesla. Yeah. Yep. Lots of them.
Yeah, I got the 180, the 185s, and the 190s as well.
Good call. Good call. More 185s coming in now. Look, just little though.
Yeah.
Asana on a pullback there, had a nice bar out the gates. It did have earnings. I didn't think they were the best, but it does look bullish right now on a pullback on 21 VWAP bounce.
It was the guidance on Asana.
2250.
It was the guidance on Asana, I think, that did it. And yeah, so to your point here, Mitch, here is the Asana chart. We talked about this briefly here. Didn't have levels drawn for it. Looks like it did bounce off this, $20 level. So that round number proving really good. Got about 1.5 here. See where this settles here. High that we had here, 2250. Decent flow here on Asana. Decent flow. Actually, and there was a couple of stocks here that I wanted to ask the group about. I'm going to go ahead and put them in the chat, the tickers. Does anyone have any info or thoughts on these 3 tickers that I just threw in the chat? PAYO, PSFE, and FlyW. So if anyone has anything on that, let me know. One of my buddies, pretty sharp guy, looking into this, and I unfortunately didn't have really any information for him. So turning it over to my group here. This sure looks like PAYO wants to take 8 and maybe pop above. He's more of a swing trader, by the way, than a day trader.
Swing trader, I like it.
Oh yeah. Yeah, Beacon. How's Beacon doing? I saw that this morning. Buddy, what are you doing down there? What are you doing?
You rug pulled yourself, man?
Sometimes technology doesn't want to participate with us this morning. Taking a look at the SPY. Nice bounce again from the $400 area. Move my stop loss about $399.74. Tesla trying to make new highs as it's trying to look to break through the 184s.
I'm looking, team. Not finding much right now.
It is weak today. Look at that.
I don't see Zunaid or his screen. There we go.
But you can hear
Hey, buddy. What you doing?
Doesn't seem
He's
too
purring.
bad.
He's purring. Buddy, I'm trying to work, though. You're stopping me from working. UNCY unable to really curl and pop. We're kind of breaking down to the bottom end of the trading range here. OCEA still halted. ATXI flirting with the VWAP here. Let's see if it can pop above. He's really purring.
Just enjoying life.
Zunaid frozen? Okay. He just didn't blink for like 10 seconds there. I was like, what is going on?
Nah, I'm just reading.
It's just an AI, bro.
He's an AI. Zunaid is AI. Take that.
Does anyone here play Counter-Strike?
I used to.
Dude, it's insane to me that was so popular, even though it came out like 20 years ago.
Well, they've really like.
This one was a miss.
Made it better and better.
Remember, I talked about Deere's pullback to 420, an opportunity, pulled back there, boom, right back to 431. Remember, we had Pakar. I'm going to look to see if I can catch this one on pullbacks today. But Cat having a good day too. So Deere, nice little up move there to 431s from 426. Looks like industrials are making a nice move there. I saw GE also lifting there. Going to look for Honeywell on a pullback here. It's red on the day, but I'm going to look for it to flip back to green. So kind of red to green move here. Just taking a look to see where I can go ahead and start sizing in. The risk would be down towards 194. So if I can get into 195s, I would like to get there. We'll see what happens.
All right, the 1-to-1 has been met on the SPY trade as we are in the money by almost 50 cents. NVIDIA, unfortunately, just struggling to come back to the green side. We'll see how that reacts. But you do have AMD that's strong compared to NVIDIA. And there's Apple crossing the 154 level that we talked about. I'm actually going to wait and see if Meta wants to break 190s. Then I'm going to go and try to take that one. And keep an eye on the Qs as it's approaching 300.
X looks good. Nice little VWAP bounces off 29.90s. Going to continue to let that work, team. I'm looking great in my swing trades, all in the green, not rushing towards the day trading action. Seeing a lot of green in my swing trades. ASO, we're almost towards first profit. 62 will be first profits on ASO. Entry was 60.48s. We're at 61.65s on the offer. As it gets to the 62, I'll take some out and look to continue to run with this one. Academy Sports and also DKS. I expect it to be up. There you guys see it. Take a look. Nice move there from Dick's Sporting Goods. All right, SEDG is really one of those that I'm really keeping a close eye on. Would love to see it close above 330s today. If that happens on SEDG, we'll be looking really good in some of these solar names. The EMPH having a good move out the gates here. Nice pullback opportunity yesterday. It looks like 220s is holding today. Pullbacks towards 219s. Let's see if it takes out 222 on the upside action. Areas that we've been watching, right? Run this morning. I talked about it around 2430s. It's almost to 2490s already. PayPal is definitely strong. Run, I agree with you. Square also. So they're going to move hand in hand. Look at those two names. Definitely a nice move there. Fortinet having a nice move. If you guys like Fortinet here, I like the pattern on Fortinet. It is getting you kind of like that cup and handle pattern right now. Let's see if it gets through 62 today. Fortinet.
SPY trade went ahead and worked out. Took profits on the limit side as we did go ahead and crack above 401. Nice little retest on the 400s twice. Move of $1 to the upside. Now you've got the Qs that are peaking above 300. Let's see what happens there. You do have Google $100 calls coming in on the ask. Let me see when they expire. It looks like they expire next week. So no real urgencies there, but still nonetheless something to talk about as they poured in about, it's only about 70,000 or so, which is a lot to us, at least to me, but maybe not to the folks that are pounding it. They just came in with another 13,000 there. So keep an eye on Google. Let's see what he wants to do, especially if he can hold this $95 level.
All right, team, we might take all profits in the American Airlines trade. As we get to 17, I'll take them all out, and that'll be a nice 6% gainer there. Will we get American Airlines towards 17 today? And that's a swing. American Airlines, can we get it through that daily level? Look at that pattern. It's looking pretty right now. Let's get it to 17. We'll see what happens. 1672 showing up. New daily high. Higher lows, higher lows. That's also the trend I want to see continue. OCEA. Open up there. Down, down, down. The 780s here. Pulling back towards resistance. Will it find support here? So one thing that I would look at is for this to kind of play as support, 765s. Next layer is what I really be worried about because that's my out, 711. So I have to be able to risk somewhere between like almost 50 cents on a name like this. And that's what I always try to figure out. What's the next layer of support for me if this breaks down really fast?
Real quick, Crow, man, get some rest, feel better. We miss you. We will be here when you are better. Make sure you take care of yourself first. Health is wealth.
Yeah, and definitely. And I think it's very important in that case because at the end of the day, there's some of you guys, we have to know that there's days that we have to take off. If you're not feeling good, it's okay to take a day off, right?
Yeah, it's especially important to not force trading too if you're not feeling good.
All right, looking at that OCEA, I'm going to let it try 750s here, but if it doesn't, I could take a shot off 750s.
UNCY kind of hanging in there. This might bounce on UNCY. OCEA, I don't really trust it, although we are at a spot where it could potentially bounce right around its VWAP here.
Trying to let it test 750s one more time, create a double bottom, and then look for it to come back through that level. And 775 is kind of the level where I think you get volume to come back into the game. Just got to know my risk, right? Like I talked about earlier, what could be the potential downside risk is really about a 50-cent move down. So that limits me in the kind of the risk here. Still haven't gotten that 750 test here, so I'm not going to jump in on 775. I wanted to test that 750.
Oh, that's a nice one. Gonna go ahead and try some Google here with 150 shares on the buy side. Got filled at 95.16. Stop loss is gonna be about 94.66.
Here comes that 750 test. There we go. Nice little wick there. Looking for the recovery now. There's the recovery, taking the shot off of the 750s here.
UNCY is trying to bounce off that 190, 189, 190 level, currently at 195. We'll see if it gets some volume to pick up here. If it does, there might be a trade here. So if you want to take this here, I'd keep a tight stop at the low.
764 entry there for OCEA. Going to risk off the 750s. Anything shows up in the 740s, and you'll see me bid out there. Looking for the push back through 8, and then the halt up as we come through 850 again. Small share size so I can get into a trade like this is what's helping me get to a shot on OCEA.
Real quick, I'm going to go ahead and get some Microsoft 260 calls expiring this week. I got filled at about $1. Let me see what my fill is here on Thinkorswim. Where's my fill? $1.23. So I am front running by 11 cents. Just a heads up.
780 showing up here on OCA. Can we get back to the 8s? That's where I expect a lot of volume to start pushing.
UNCY bounce continuing here. See if it can make it through the VWAP. Might speed up if it does. OCEA actually holding in here instead of continuing to break down too. So might have some setups here.
I made a quick plan. I traded the plan. That's what I wanted to do. Remember, I said, let's test the 750s. Let's test it. And let's see what happens. From here, it's no longer now about the results, right? It's just execution, execution, execution. So if it gets to the 740s and stops me out, it's okay too. I take my shot based on what? Risk versus reward, not just necessarily just one side of that table. Killing Shop says BZB trading. Shop till you drop, baby.
Did you go? Wouldn't be surprised if BZB is the options that I saw coming in earlier. Did you buy a whole bunch of those?
We are getting a little bit of some pullback action here. SEDG with a nice little lift off today. keeping an eye out on some stocks just to see for profit takes. American Airlines is my leading swing of up about 4.85%, but I'm looking for a 6% gainer on that. Needs to get up there closer towards the 17 on the day. The SPY pulling back to the 494 area. Will it continue to push today? That's what we're looking for. It's really good with our leadership today because all of them leading well. Tesla, Google, Amazon, Microsoft, Apple. When those stocks lead and they're all in the green, yeah, we could continue to lift. Meta having a good day, Visa having a good day. I really don't get to the red on our leadership until UNH. So that's a healthcare stock. Even oil is doing well. So we have that potential to keep running. Let's see if we can.
OCEA breaking down now. A lot of stuff breaking down here.
Yep, got out of that on the 740, turned around there and took a really, really small loss there for less than 20 cents. Gave it the shot, right? That's all we can do.
That's all you can do. Toro moving off the VWAP here. Toro, nice little volume expansion too.
AAL, just on the pullback, I don't think it's really fallen, but if you look at it on the 15-minute, this is a pullback towards prior resistance. So as long as it can kind of hold in here around the 1659s, it's still looking good. That's why I like using the 5 minutes or 15 minutes to look for those pullbacks versus people that freak out on the 1 minute. 1 minute will make you freak out on a candle like this, right?
Happens to me all the time, folks.
You see this candle right here? This looks scary on the 1 minute, but then I pull it on the 15-minute and I look to the left, and what do you see? Resistance becoming support. So that's okay, right? As long as it doesn't break this 15-minute candle of like the 945 where the big expansion move was towards the upside, that's 650s. Now, if we see 650s break, that's when I would be a little bit more concerned about American Airlines today. So that's how the change between a short-term time frame and a longer-term time frame can give you an advantage.
I'm going to try 100 shares of the Qs here. Got filled at 314. Stop loss is going to be 299.38. Risking about 75 to make 75. And we can go ahead and test 390.
Got stopped out an X running with the run. Thanks. Hey, Trout, all up to you. You know, like always, one of the things that I do is I just call out where I see flags. You guys make your own investment decision, but always wish you the best. Run. Oof, running is running. He's right. Look at that. This one's a little frustrating. I wanted to get it on the pullback. I got a little picky off 24.25s. Could have got 24.30s and then just jumped into it. But nice little move there. Almost to 25 today on run. And you look in the solar names, there's only about 3 or 4 names in the red versus 21 names here. What do you see, Ryan?
Lunar. Jay, thank you, Jay Wild. Thank you, Jay Wild, for the call out because I missed this here. This one, man, this is what a bummer. This would have been it right here, right? Nice little move right through 1144. Got the volume expansion that we were looking for. Nice little push away. $1.50 move here. A little late to this. I'm sorry about that, but Jay, good looking out. Good looking out for the group. Grabbing Lunar here.
Woo-hoo. Not a bad move there in Lunar.
Not at all.
SPY on the pullback team. We'll look to see if it holds pullbacks by the VWAP. VWAP's all the way down to 410. So if it does pull back there, we'll look for 400s to play as support and stay in the bullish. We'll see what happens today.
I think what I might do, the reason I missed Lunar here is because I have that volume filter of 1 million, and this has traded 800,000 shares. So I think what I might do here to see if I can adjust this, might change this to, let's try 600K. Let's try 600,000 instead of 1 million. So we should be getting more results now that I have to feed through. Should be getting some things a little bit quicker. You can see Lunar on here now. Maybe we would have spotted that. Constant adjustment, constant tinkering with things to try and make it better and better.
All right, looking for Morgan Stanley shorts team. Want a little pop back here to start getting some short on Morgan Stanley, especially if we can get back here towards this kind of resistance here. 95.63s is above the 95.50s is when I can start attacking this. Seeing all financials getting hit right now. JPM, Goldman Sachs was the only one kind of slightly up. Bank of America is down big. There's a lot of issues showing up in banks. I tried to talk about it on pre-market prep. Dennis Dick really caught a really nice thread that you guys should maybe take a look into. So I'm looking for banks to short, but I need to pop back. I had an alert for shorting JPM at 138. It went to 137.40s. Didn't get to that 138. It's already dropping to 135.
NVIDIA with a nice move, made high a day. And of course, AMD making new highs as well. 87.11. And Google is staying flat as a brick. Since I got in, that is.
Flat as a brick. OCEA curling here, so we might actually get a move through the VWAP, especially if we get a volume pop. Check this out on OCEA. You can see volume really kind of tapering in here. We're curling back up towards the VWAP. Good sign. You get any type of decent volume pop here, I think maybe we go towards 8, maybe through 8. So something to keep on radar. I'm going to watch OCEA here for a little bit.
Square on the pullback on VWAP. PayPal coming back. We'll look for that to maybe get to VWAP, but those are two opportunities that are on pullback here as the SPY pulls back.
OCEA now moving through that VWAP, but not on the increased volume that we would necessarily want to see. So take that at your own risk. The volume is increasing now.
All right, liking this square type of trade here. Taking a starter there, looking for pullbacks towards 78.80s here. Started there off the offer, which was 78.95. All right, just got a little bit more filled there in square, looking for anything below 80s to add here.
OCEA, big knife down. This is why we want to wait for the volume. Big knife down, OCEA. Taking you all the way to the lows. Probably stopping out the weak hands, to be honest.
All right, just building a position here in square, average 78.88.
I like that.
Look to the left, I see that support there. If I go to the 5-minute, I do see that it could pull back here towards 78.40. So I got to give myself a little bit of room to add here just in case I need to. But trying to build it here, a square position. We'll find out what happens. If it gets back through 79, we'll be looking decent here. We're right on the VWAP, 88, 72, 82 is the VWAP. There's 79 showing up, 79.05s. Let's go to multiple charts here so you guys can keep up with some other names. NVIDIA on the left-hand side. Pinterest going a nice move upward. I take a look at Snap today. It's been on such a nice pullback. I'd love for a nice little pullback here towards 1120s. But remember, Snap's been on a nice little pullback. If Pinterest can actually get moving, maybe those get moving there. I'm going to put the SPY back to the middle here. SPY didn't even come back to the VWAP. So let's see if it takes out 401.50 on upside. NVIDIA on the left, pushing strong. Tesla on the pullback.
You know, with Square, I think that a nice little run to Square. I think we probably run into some resistance at 90, Mitch. If you want to take a look at that daily chart, 90 looks like some pretty tough resistance going all the way back to, what is this?
Woo-hoo.
May of 2022. Yeah, May of last year.
I got to be calm on moments like this. You know, one of the things when you're doing swing trading and day trading, and sometimes there's a lot of positions, right now is one of those where I just want to run to the green and I'm trying to sit on my hands, because when you have 6 positions into the green, it's like, should I just take the money and run off the table here? But letting things work, right? Let the market do the work, not me. Focus on execution is one of my top things that I tell myself all the time, team. What are you guys seeing out there?
I'm seeing that the Jets think that they're going to sign Aaron Rodgers, but also
the Jets.
I know I'm laughing about it too. But as far as the market goes, Lunar, just a spectacular move here. Great job putting this on the radar for everyone, Jay, because I was a little slow to it. But we got a nice little stop, kind of consolidation, and another leg up here on Lunar. So, oops, changed the chart by accident. Let's go ahead and take a look at the 15-minute. Look to the left, get an idea on some other time frames about where this thing might slow down. I'm actually going to refresh my platform here real quick.
X gonna give it to me.
So real quick. So before I refresh here, real quick, as far as here goes, Mitch rapping. This is popping right into this resistance area, right? So right in here, this is where that pop stopped. So we'll see if Lunar can get above this. I would say next leg up, probably taking you closer towards 16. I'm going to refresh now real quick.
All right, team, going to take some profits as we get to the 79.50 area here on Square. Nice little move back to the upside. Let's see if I can get this out here. All right, 41s. I'll push it back to you, man.
You're good. You got the Qs that are moving up to the upside. Our target on this sell is going to be 390. We're currently at 376. So we've got about 15 more cents to go on that side. For some reason, I just started craving wings when I was saying that. That has literally nothing to do with trading. I don't know why that just happened. But nonetheless, moving on to my Google trade here. We're in at 95.18. Looking to go ahead and sell some at 95.85. Went ahead and added 150 shares more. So my average price is 95.18 with 300 shares. Stop loss is still going to be 94.66. Let's see how that works out. But I do want to go ahead and get this Q's trade hit on the limit side. Tesla on do or die. Let's see. Currently trading at 183.07s. I think 182 is support at the moment. That's also the previous close. I think it's okay at the mine.
What? Guys, we're going to have to get down at 10:30 because we're not getting the likes, man.
Okay, I'll start wrapping up real quick here.
67 likes. Come on, for a day like today.
Yeah, I'll start wrapping up here. If people don't like it, we can go do something else.
We could just trade together, right? We could just
exactly.
Room, right?
real quickly, UNCY. So I didn't want to interrupt you guys as you were were talking about your trades. Thankfully, our chat out here, grateful to God, saying the same thing. So this is exactly what we're waiting for, right? We did kind of come off that 181. We consolidated around that VWAP, but notice how when we got the big volume pop, that's when the price started to take away from the actual VWAP. These were kind of fake outs. We didn't really have that good volume. When the volume came, boom, there goes the stock. This is the exact thing that we are trying. This is the process. We talk all the time about process. This is the setup and the process that we are trying to hit every single day with these small caps. So nice to see us getting some opportunities here today. Ooh, some young morning doves just arrived at the tree.
All right, looking for the next move there in Square to take us through the high of the day. High of the day is 79.52. As we get there to 49s, I'm going to take some profits. SEDG to 330.40s, baby. Let's go from 322.38s. Still riding that one, riding the solar, trying to charge up today. These are all my 6 positions. All my 6 positions. I got to put AAL on the left. But all of them pushing strong, X pushing strong. Sprouts, we'll see if that continues, but I got that at 33s, looking great. ASO, looking like we're pushing back there towards intraday high. SEDG, taking out highs, looking for that Square day trade to get through the highs there. American to the left here. Can we get to 17? Let's go, team. Let's bring it.
All right, on the Qs, we did go ahead and hit our limit trade to the upside, so that one's banged in some profits as it did go ahead and cross 390 to 301. I believe the high there was 398, so that's good. Now, the only trade that we are in is Google with 300 shares. Let me go and refresh this puppy so we can see it a little bit cleaner, which I'm in here at 95.18 with a stop loss, and there's Tesla. Nope, that's a little old alert, but there's the trade. 95.18 with 300 shares. And right when I say that, we kind of come to the downside. Looking to sell some at 95.85. Stop loss for everything, 94.66. Want this 95 to hold.
UNCY coming back in from that pop. Let's see if it sets up again.
All right, team. Money, money, money. Just took some
Appreciate that,
profits
Reggie.
there in Square. Taking some profits in Square on the day trade through that 79.50 move. It went to 79.54. I took some profits at the 79.49. Break even on the rest. Let's see it go. Bow, 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 bow.
SMMT, Matthew, SMMT looking weak here today. Really kind of coming in.
Now the likes coming in. We're at 204. I see you guys.
Hey, there we go. We can stick
welcome
around.
up. We welcome
wow.
up.
Hey, shout out to y'all going from 67 to 204. Shout out to y'all. Appreciate y'all.
I agree with Zunaid. Shout out to
I
y'all.
wish my bank account would go up like that. That's crazy.
Right? Sometimes all you got to do is ask. And it's not because really, team, like we get money on your likes, is that it tells Benzinga if you guys like us or not. Right? Like, let's just be honest. You guys want to keep us getting paid. Well, we get paid because we work for Benzinga, not only this trading action. So smash that like, team. Yeah, where else are you going to really get a supporting community for free? I agree with you, Bruce.
Yeah,
what you got, Ryan?
That's the thing. That's why we ask. It's free, so that's why we ask. Real quick, Matthew, since you asked so nicely, let's take a look. SMMT. So I got to be honest with you. If you're long here, I'm sorry in advance. I don't really see a whole lot going on here. Like I said, we were pretty weak today. We were trying to show some strength at the end of the day yesterday and then in the pre-market, but we've really kind of given that up. On the 15-minute chart here, all candles are red. All of the volume candles here are red. If you take a look, if you zoom out and you kind of take a look at the 15-minute, this is clear downtrend. Maybe we bottomed here at 120. I don't know, though. Clear downtrend here. If we flip over to the daily chart, let's hide the VWAP because we don't want that on the daily chart. If we flip over to the VWAP or to the daily, excuse me, this does look like a potential bounce spot, right? We're kind of at the top of this area right here. Maybe we can bounce, but could also come back in towards this dollar level. See this pop that we had, we've pretty much given back all of that. I want to confirm that this pops before we try taking this to the long side. Doesn't look great as of right now.
New high of day on Square. Let's go. 79.60s. Got in this one at 78.88. VWAP pullback strategy. Now looking for this one to take off to the next levels. Next level on the hourly puts us up through the 80s. So as we get through that 80, I'll take some off and leave the last quarter for the little expansion move.
SoFi. So stay focused. SoFi, I'm kind of torn on this. I want to like this, but the stock performance has just been really, really bad. Now, if we take a look at the daily chart here, I think we probably have bottomed. So I think if you want to take this for kind of a longer term play, that's fine. Just use whatever risk parameter your account can manage. We are kind of trading sideways here. I would imagine the next move is going to find some resistance at 8. A pop above probably takes you into double digits. That's about all I got here for you, though. Sorry.
All right, the SPY's coming down a little bit.
UNCY trying to come back up. Sorry, Zunaid.
You're good. You're good. Google trying to defend 95. SPY coming down, breaking 450. What are we gonna do? What are we gonna do?
BRB 1 sec.
No worries. Oh yeah, Google.
Looking for a nice little step up here in ASO towards the 62s. We'll look to see if the SPY takes out and comes back to the upside here, right? It is pulling back to the VWAP. Will we get a VWAP bounce? We've talked about 400 being an important level, right? You go right back towards 418 here. Let's see if we recover back towards 450, or are we going to get some downside action now coming into the market? Downside on the kind of the next pullback level would be 399.70s. So as long as we don't break 399.50s today, I'll still be looking for a little bit of a bounce coming back to the upside. Be careful out there, team. We are on a little bit of a pullback here. Anything on AI today? Not really necessarily what we're watching, but of course you guys can take a look at what you guys are finding out there. And like always, team, there's a reason why I ask about the likes right off the hop. I don't want to interrupt your trading. Really, that's not what it's about, team. See if we can get this next leg in the SPY back to the upside. One thing about it is on the daily, if we could really just push back here towards like 401, continue back towards 405, I mean, we are getting a nice little hold here.
Here we go, SPY testing that 400. What are we going to do, SPY? What are we going to do?
It needs to chop, you know? Choppy chop.
Man, I came back, took a look at UNCY, completely knifed. Completely knifed.
Yeah, those smaller names, I'm not the biggest fan of right now in this market. They were doing good for a little while. Now they're starting to like knife on people and stuff. So just be careful. Like always, you guys determine what you guys want to trade, but Square is pulling back a little bit here. We'll see if we can get that next run up on that one. I'm going to hold to break even on the rest just based on my rules. But like always, you guys determine what you guys like on there. Square pulling back to the VWAP. We'll look for it to hold VWAP, which is 92s. I'm slightly below that. I'll let you know if I do get out on Square.
Interesting question. Go ahead,
sorry, real
Zunaid.
quick. I'm going to go to close my Google trade. Not the most confident in that one anymore, as the market is coming down. The 400 needs to be defended on the SPY. Could easily bounce from here, but I don't have a good feeling, so I'm going to go with my gut and assume that it's not anything else.
Yeah, I like that. I like that, Zunaid. You know, one of the things that we were talking about earlier was that we want to make sure that this market continues. It has the possibility to roll over. So I think that's a pretty defensive move on your part. You can always rebuy it if it sets up again, right? Always, yep. always. Real quick here, Luis, this is a really good question. And let me know if you guys have the answers or if you guys have an answer for this. I'm a new trader. This is spring break. Doesn't that have to do with the low trading this week? Just wondering. So I'll say this. I don't know about spring break in particular. But I know that there are other holidays where this phenomenon actually comes into play. Definitely Thanksgiving, everyone seems to be home. Volume seems to be a little bit lighter. Christmas volume seems to be a little bit lighter. There's some other holidays that are like that, but I don't know about spring break. That one I don't know about. OCEA new highs, by the way, as I'm over here babbling. OCEA just an absolutely monster rip. This is why we were telling you, keep it on the radar, right? Keep it on the radar. It hadn't set up yet, and then as soon as we got that volume, I mean, look what this thing's doing here. Just monster. So anyway, sorry I'm jumping around there. The huge move here in OCEA. Luis, I don't know about spring break. I would turn this over to the group. I would ask them.
No clue. No clue.
My only thing is that as an adult, we don't get spring break. And so the traders out there, they're not getting a week off. If we got a week off, I mean, we'd take it, right? But I don't think we're getting it.
SPY testing 400 one more time. Qs below 300. This is the battle happening. I am expecting a break, but if I'm going to put money to work, I want to have at least a 10-minute candle be to the downside. And would not be surprised if we break 400 that we go ahead and test 398.93.
The only thing there is the word expect.
What?
Got to cut that word out of your vocabulary.
I don't remember what I said, so you got to remind me.
No, you're just using expectation on it on the trade explanation.
So you're saying whether it comes to trading or people, you should have no expectations.
There you go.
Here we go. Well, what I expected to happen did happen, so maybe not. But you've got 400 that just cracked on the SPY. You've got, look at that beautiful break on the 300 with the Qs there as well.
399.50's holding though. We'll see. That's the support right now.
So now that you have this broken, right, what I'm going to try to go ahead and do is try to be cute with it. And let's see. See if I can go short 150 shares on SPY with the 399.95s.
Real quick, Jay Rice here. This is a money. This is kind of what I was going at when I was asking. So spring break lull. No, August is slow when they all go to the Hamptons. The better comment here. College kids drink beer, they don't trade. So this is kind of what I was wondering. I didn't really think spring break was a low volume holiday, if you will, like we do get over the summer. But I agree with Jay here. I don't really think that college kids are making up a large chunk of the volume in the market. They're out there slamming beers. Come on now.
Nice little pullback there. SPY is holding the 399.50 area. We'll look to see if this wicks right back up through 400 on a 5-minute candle. Or does it take down through the 399.50s?
Yeah, look at the volume that came in on the SPY as soon as we were breaking that 400. The biggest volume candle of the day came in at 10:17 market time. And now we're waiting for the retest of 400. If it does happen, I'm looking to go shorty short.
There you go. See how one thing is that, like, when you come back to that level, that's like that little pullback after you crack. That's why it's difficult to chase the SPY when it cracks like that, right? Imagine if you chased right now and you got in there like on the low, 399.41 short. They're feeling the pressure right here. SQQQ starting. Yeah, you can take a look at that trade. Like always, there's no trade that's wrong. The key is like trying to just set up process, right? Set up situation awareness. What are you going to do if this happens? What are you going to do if this happens? SPY just closed a 5-minute candle at 399.74s. Let's see if it takes out the lows of the previous candle now, 399.41s, or do we get back towards 400?
I can't believe I missed this comment. Jeff Ross, I've downsized so much that a trade isn't emotional. That's great. And a lot of the times I'll do that on a stock that's wild or a position that I don't feel all that confident in. I'll just reduce my size. So even if it goes wrong for me, I'm not sitting there like, oh no.
Well done.
Yeah, well done. Good discipline. Boy, let me turn these on. I'm getting popped off right now. This is crazy.
Yeah, literally. I literally wrote about this on my Twitter just this week. I said, what? Position sizing can literally be the difference between winning and losing, team. Literally could be the difference. It could be that you're not having the right sizing, and that's why you're losing.
Hey, size matters.
You know it, brother.
All right, you've got the Qs testing the 400, so we are short on the SPY at 399.95.
Went to 400.04. That's that middle chart here. You want me to put you up, Zunaid, since you're getting into some newer trades? I'm just hanging into mine.
Yeah, if you guys want some other stocks up there, let me know. But here, so let me go ahead and delete. There we go. Cool. 400, right? That was the break that we're looking for. We got the break. We went long on the retest. Then we come back down. We break it to the downside. Now we wait for the retest of 400. We got it. So we're short 150. If we're wrong, cool. We're going to lose about 150 bucks. If we're right, though, we're going to make about 150 bucks. So let's see which way it goes. Taking a look at the Qs, at 300 broke. If you're trying to go short the Qs, I'd wait to see if you get a test of 300, maybe 299.95 or so to get you a better feel, because right now it's about 30 cents below that. But that's the trade that I've got right now. And I would not be surprised if we get a bit of a gap fill here and go from green to test red on the SPY. And that's the reason I took this trade.
There you go. Yeah, I was why the reason I was talking about that position sizing thing is there was another trader on Twitter, Todd Gordon, that was talking about how when he first started, like ever since he first started, the sizing has come down and down and down and down. I think that's what a lot of day traders run into. They first start with this massive size.
Yep.
And they work down that ladder all the way down until they find something that was probably even like maybe even like 1/10, if not less than what they used to be trading with.
Yep. And Mitch, so I can explain it too, because when you first get into it, when you're newer, you're thinking, oh, this is going to be so great. I got this. I'm going to load up on my size. We're going to be in Lambos and the golf course and all of this cool stuff. And then reality sets in, and it's not that easy. It's actually very difficult to trade huge size. So they just naturally start reducing it. Jay Rice here saying position size has always been my bugaboo. Why? You get too emotional. Dead on, could not have said it better myself. It is without a doubt my biggest issue. When I size into things that I don't feel good about, I'm often emotional. I take losses too quickly, or I get out of the trade too quickly. You folks have seen me do that here. Actually, there have been a couple of trades where I just probably took an extra 1,000 or 500 shares, and I really didn't need to do that. And then I ended up getting stopped out, only to watch the stock go higher. It's part of the game, and figuring that out. That's the thing. Nobody can tell you that. Nobody can tell you what the right size is. You have to figure that out. It's incredibly important.
SPY hanging out with 400, flirting. Are we going to reject, or are we going to go on a second date above 400?
Long term, I'm thinking about short on Starbucks. I've been fighting myself on this one for a couple days now. Lost before on Starbucks, and maybe that's why I'm being a little bit hesitant here, but the chart just looks really juicy for me to short. Just looks like a Head and Shoulders, classic Head and Shoulders. I like it.
I'm seeing Tesla puts come in now, Zunaid. Not huge amounts, but several of them. What? 180, 180s.
180s. I've got a couple of 175s.
Okay.
I see the 180 expiring this week, approximately 150 contracts.
Yep.
Yeah. And now if you're looking
March 10th, I see two orders of that, one for 151 and one for 133.
Yeah,
so
if you're looking to go short Tesla, we talked about it at the pre-market. Crack a 180. That's the yeah, I'm in for me. But for now, just hanging out with SPY. If it works out, great. By the way, I did move my stop loss to 461, so I will go ahead and lose $100 if I lose, and I will make $150 if I'm a G and if I'm right.
Ooh, let's go. Come on, get it up there. ASO almost to my profit take, trying to take some profit on Academy Sports today. Been riding this one for a little while now. 60.48s is the average. Looking to take some out into the 61.90s towards 62, and then leave the rest of it running. Hourly chart still looking good. That's why we traded this one. I had these box already drawn. We drew this on the 8th. Now just continuing to watch to see if it works up there towards the first level, 62, and then to the 64s. ASO. How many of you have punched your screen? I did it the other day. No emotion here. Whoa. No punching the screens. You got to take care of those bad boys.
I may have a broken screen still in the back that I need to throw away. It's been like a year.
Taking it out. What's the most I think I've ever gotten mad about was like I got out of a trade and just hit the power button.
On the computer?
Yeah, on the computer. I knew I was out, but I was just like, yeah, forget you.
Yeah, I saw the question here about punching your screen.
I've done it once.
I've never done that. I here, Luis. So how many of you have punched your screens? I've never done it. I like my electronic equipment. It's my job and a lot of my leisure, and so I don't mistreat it or beat it, obviously. But I do know some people that have put remotes through TV screens.
I've never done that.
Never done that either. But yeah, it's
I've punched the screen and it's broken, and then I gotta open up the other one. But yeah.
Breaking screens needs anger management. Dave Portnoy smashed 3 computers. Well, he can afford 3 million computers. So
yeah, he's doing it just for the show, isn't he?
Yeah.
I girl punched it though. Girl punches can still be punches. That's
Yeah,
not. Yep.
Hey, there are a lot of women I do not want to get punched by. I'll tell you that.
Let me tell you.
yeah, man.
Not that
Wake up real quick.
One of my friends, his wife is in the army, and I'm not ashamed. She would beat my ass.
Oh,
I don't know what to tell you. She would whip my ass. It's just how it goes. I grabbed a stapler out of frustration and
man, no, this is getting violent.
Wait, what? I've grabbed a stapler in frustration and accidentally stapled. Okay, now see that's a different type of kink. I don't know. That's kind of different. I don't know about that one.
There's a little push right there.
SPY coming back to test 400 now at 399.91. We were up about 30 cents on the trade. This could easily
Christian pointing out to the market breadth and how green we're having a day of today. And if I go to my sectors outlook and I take a look here, that's what I always like to look at, right? What's in the green today? Technology, industrials, and energy. Now, the rest of it has started to leak into the red. So look for those areas to be kind of the areas where I can see trouble. Financial services, definitely could see troubles today. Never got that pushback there towards Morgan Stanley. Man, should have got short on Morgan Stanley today. Gonna be mad I'm missing this. I'm looking for a gap fill on Morgan Stanley, right back down to 92. You can see JPM cracking big today. Goldman Sachs is one that we can maybe look at that's in the green, but I'll look for this one to get red towards the end of the day. Morgan Stanley already coming down there. Looking to short some of the banks. What's up with that SPY trade? Going back to 400.
We shall see. It's testing it. Now it's got a break on the above. 410 is what we're seeing.
What's your out, my friend?
Well, for me right now, it's 461.
Okay. Like always, it doesn't have to be so exact, team. Like, you seeing them give a number doesn't mean it has to be exact, like always. I know about you guys. I try to keep it like, maybe a penny or two off of that. I don't really stress too much sometimes if I'm a penny off. The key is just keeping it to that level.
So real quick, when we're talking about the SPY.
Real quick, I'm going to get out. I don't like the fact that it's above 400 on the 5 to 10 to 15. I'm out.
As far as the SPY goes, remember, I gave you the setup here this morning. I gave you my thought here on the SPY. Look what we've done so far. We've traded up right into that trend line and rejected at that trend line. And now we're coming back in. So what's next? Do we find support at the 50-day, which is this light blue line? Or do we actually give it a second attempt to bust through this trend line to the upside? To me, this is the battle. This is the next question.
Really quick trade here off 75s here for AMD. This is going to be really quick. I could get stopped out really quickly on this. Just trying to see if we can get some up action in AMD here. Hands like literally on the trigger where I could get out. It tested it right now and then just popped back up. So I'm looking to see if it takes out 87, goes to like 87.25. Sell majority there. Look for 87.75 on the top shares.
Yeah, GE, nice, Ron. GE, nice little move here out of the gate. General Electric shares are trading higher after the company updated guidance at its annual investor conference. That guidance has really been the key for some of these stocks. GE having a really nice day here today, up 8% or $7 here as it continues to trade up. Looks like it's getting a little heavy up here.
All right, I'm going to go to flip long here on the SPY and see if we can go ahead. You also have the Qs, by the way, that are testing 300, currently slightly above 300 itself as well. The strongest stocks that one of the strongest stocks that you want to take a look at, boy, I don't think I pronounced stocks right there, is going to be Microsoft. If it can break the 358s, excuse me, the 359s,
AMD.
you can see if you want to make a move to the upside on that one. You took gains on it?
No, I got out. I got stopped out for like a tiniest loss. It was just kind of one of those, like yesterday we did a really nice trade on it where it's just like kind of like an immediate risk there, and it's recovering. It could still push through 87.
Yeah.
Like always, team, you guys determine what you guys want to do there. But it was just kind of one of those where I saw the SPY moving fast. I was going to take a shot there on AMD. It doesn't look too bad, but I know it could come back to 86.50s. Definitely not going to wait for that move.
Before good. Well, I was going to say, before I go, you've got $200 calls coming in on Meta expiring next week, approximately $200,000 worth. So keep an eye on Meta, especially if it breaks that 190. If it breaks that 190 here, which is I had trouble getting past the past 7 days or so, you can get a nice little move to the upside. If you want to go ahead and play Meta right here, you can. Stop loss could be below low a day on ticker META. It's all you, pal.
Yeah, we were just talking about GE real quick here. I went ahead and filtered the unusual. Filtered the unusual option for GE. Jay was saying saw all kinds of call buying here at the open. Looks like the 92s, 95, 90s, 85s, even some decent sized lots here. It looks like that is what was driving it, or at least those people trading it. Maybe not driving it, but trading it. So good shout there, Jay. I should pay attention to that a little bit more.
All right, trying to get into Honeywell based off of that GE strength. I have an order out at 196.15. Is going to pull it back to 196 also. Really want to get in this one, but I also don't want to just chase it up here. Looking for a slight little pullback. It's just running on me. Just like jump 10 cents, 15 cents. This is where it gets a little frustrating. You think like, do I just jump off the offer? But I'm just looking for any pullbacks towards around 196 to get in on this one. With that GE run, I could really see Honeywell recovering towards 200. This is going to be the swing attempt. This is not necessarily more of that day trade. This is pullback, looking for a move back towards 200.
All right. How about for the day? Sometimes it's good to flip flop like a politician. Going from short on the SPY to long on the SPY is paying off right now as the 1-to-1 has been met, but I'm looking for a little bit longer as I'm going to go get my steps in, get ready for the rest of my day, the meetings and all that other good stuff. Appreciate it, Matthew. Appreciate you guys. And I'll see y'all next week. Happy trading, make some money, stay green, and live.
You're not with us tomorrow?
No, you guys, Fridays I don't trade. But, we talked about
all right, man.
Yep. See ya. Bye.
Later.
All right. We'll see what happens there. If I can get a fill in Honeywell, looking for it. A little frustrated. It's already gone about 40 cents since I was looking to get in. So it's one of those where I have to get the pullback fill now. If I miss it, I miss it. And I'm going to be frustrated on this one because I was looking for the decline today, and GE is just staying too strong to ignore. ITW could also get the lift off of this. This is one that I've traded in the past. Looks like a nice little move if it can get above 240s. But I'd love the leader, Honeywell, on a pullback. We'll look to see if I get that pullback towards 196. All right, let's take a look at some other trades to see if I can take some profits. ASO pushing here at 6173s. AAL now to 1679. Going to look to close this swing here as we get closer to 17. Let's get that last little push. Let's get into the 6%. I'm up about 5.8% right now. Looking for this last little drive into the 1685s to give me that last little push into the 6%. Above 6% is going to be right around here on the 84s. So if I can get even the drive to 1685s, 88s, I'm just going to take the money and run. American Airlines has been a really nice paying trade. 6%, I'll take it.
OCEA worth noting here. It's starting to do what it did the last time it had a huge push. So remember, we kind of came in towards this 750, 760 level, traded sideways, like right in here, right? Traded sideways a little bit. Then we traded up through the VWAP with the bigger volume. That volume continued to expand and that price continued to rise. Well, we fast forward to right now, we're getting a similar setup here at the beginning before the move. So OCEA trading up here to the VWAP. We don't have the volume size that we want to see yet, but if we bust above some of these sticks right here, right? If we have an expansion above this level here, that could be your entry trigger. Maybe we'll get another push here on OCEA. Say this might not be done yet. If you're going to take a little higher risk trade, then maybe a curl off that a little bit earlier, but I like to use the volume. I'd rather be late or miss it and have a better setup with the volume.
Bottoming action on Pakar. If I can get a little pullback to 75.80s, I'll risk off of 75.62 here for some day trading action. Just need a pullback on the name. Pakar is holding a pullback while Deer and Cat are ripping to the upside. Still looking for the Honeywell pullback, but we'll see what happens there. AAL, the order's out. If I pop into the 1685s, I'll take the profits and run.
Why is your screen blurry? Because he punched it. I don't think he's talking about mine. It might be because you don't have your YouTube settings on.
Yeah, just
source.
take a look at the YouTube
You might
settings.
have it on auto.
UAL continuing to the upside. That was one that got me into this American Airlines. Look at how UAL has continued to strengthen the airlines. Not a bad one to take a look at. Save got hit on that report. Look how it made up all those losses already. So DAL is another one that I'm looking for it to kind of push through. Look at that. Nice little push towards the 40s. These airlines have done really well. We're going to look for that last little push here in American Airlines. I think it could get to 17 today, but I'm not going to be too picky for about another 0.4%. I'll take the 6% gainer and run.
OPK having a nice day here. This is another penny stock. Looking like this wants to go through 131 here. We've identified as a key level. Let me look at the 15-minute chart and go back and see what we did. This was from yesterday. So OPK looking like it's going to try to trade up and maybe set a new high here. I kind of feel like I'm chasing. I'd love for this to come back into VWAP, give us another opportunity to buy it a little bit cheaper, but we might not get that here on this move up. OPK. Take a look at the daily as well.
Of course, tech stocks having a decent day. Even Intel pushing strong on the day there. So even Intel pushing back, you know it's going to be a decent day. That Honeywell is going to frustrate me, team. It's already up 70 cents now. Not going to chase it because everything in me tells me that I got to follow my rules, right? But
Good
this
idea.
was going to be frustrated, man. It, like right when we got in, it jumped 15. It was at 96.15. Then it went to 96.30s. Then it went 96.40s. 96. It's just one of those things that now I'm like in that FOMO feeling. What I'm going to do is just leave my order there. If it pulls back, it can fill me. But I don't think I'll get to fill. Honeywell starting to push. I really like this because it's been pulling back, even though GE is just ripping today. Maxen, solar name, ripping, and continuing to push there. So feeling really confident about my SEDG position. Going to keep pushing that and run stock we mentioned earlier today. Right at the open, up about 4.14%. The leading name in some solar versus also you can look at Maxen up about 6.8%, but definitely good day for these two stocks. Right behind that, SunPower. X pulling back significantly. Might look to dip by X in a little bit. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, and so David Lynn right here. Real quick. Had big news yesterday on a deal with Merck, and then goes on to say CEO also bought 1 million shares. And so you're right. In Benzinga Pro, just flip over to the insiders, and you can see right here Philip Frost buying 1.18 million shares at 118.
Yeah, it doesn't look too bad there. It has a lot of volume. It's rotating. I don't know what the float is, but it had 30 million shares traded yesterday, 2.4 today.
Or
so
it's
definitely
thick, 420 million share float.
Okay, so it needs a lot. It needs a lot, team. That means they've liquidated this stock often. So just be careful about that. Right? That's a high float count for a $1.30 stock. Looking around to see what else is moving. It's about 10:42. We'll be wrapping up in just a few minutes. I'm not seeing too much, team, so I'm just riding my swings right now. Looking for some other type of trades, but the SPY did hold that 5-minute pullback towards 39.50s or 399.50s. We came back through the 400. Now we're looking for 401.50s for continued upside breakout. Tesla Nice little pullback to the VWAP there. This actually looks good for me. I think it could start pushing back here towards like 190s, especially if we're going to have a green day on the day. So I could look at Tesla right now off of 182 level, but you got to be careful, right? There's Tesla starting to move up. Doesn't look too bad here for the 183 break. And then holding VWAP on pullbacks. Recent 5-minute candle had a low at 182.20s to the left, 182.18s. So that's kind of the level that I'm seeing the risk off of. Now you see the push through 183s. Will we get right back there towards 184s and then 185s? Looked like a good trade. I didn't take it there, team, but we'll see what happens there in the Tesla Dragon. ASO, come on, pay me. Give me that last little push to 62. Trying to get some payment today. They say payment for order flow. My order flow. Let's go. Pay me. AMD weaker than I thought off VWAP. Yeah, I thought so too. This is that 8650 test. I could get back in it off of the 8650s now. Actually don't mind it off of that now. See if I can get 65s here. 69. Trying to get 65s here on AMD. All right, just took a little bit of AMD right there. Holding off 8650s. Entry is 8661. So only risking about like 10 cents right now.
Lunar trying to push away from its VWAP again. We'll see if it gets towards these highs. The high print of 1465.
All right, we'll see if AMD gets that next little push there. The cuts through the 50s here. We'll risk off to 45 and give it at least 50 touch. Go to the 1 minute so you guys can see this. There's 46. There's 40 starting to show. Hands on the trigger to get out. Needs to recover back to 50 right now. If not, I'm just getting out through the 8640s. 45 showing up. What you got?
I like Jay's comment here. For swing trading around earnings, I much prefer this strategy. Prefer to buy names that have already reported good earnings, and then wait for the gap. I prefer this too, as opposed to just kind of trading the binary event. That's more gambling. Doing it this way, even if you're patient and you wait for that initial reaction to maybe come in and then buy it, this seems to work a little bit better. It seems a little bit easier to do.
Nice little recovery there for AMD. Right back towards 8680s. Wicks through that 8650s. That's why Wicks can be tricks, team. If I'd have listened to the Wicks there, I would have got stopped out there. And that's why I had to give myself what's called what I call the ultimate risk, where a level goes through my level, but it's not closing there. And I have to have a level below that. So if just in case it like really pushes down, I get out no matter what, right? That's why your sizing is so important. Sometimes I have to make sure that with my sizing, I could actually take a little bit more damage and not really be crushed by that type of trade, right? It's very important to sometimes really not just give yourself like a one trade where if the damage you get hit, it's going to destroy your mental capital. We'll see now if we get back through 8690s. Really, it's an 87 move that needs to happen here for it to get back into the bullish trend. Test back here to this first resistance, 8702. Take that out, and then we got 8730s, 8775. Honeywell. What are you going to do for me? You're going to pull back, Honeywell? Nope. It's going to be frustrating later, team.
Shake it off, Mitch. You got this.
Yeah, it's just one of those that, like, it's hard to do both, right? The swings and the days, the day trades in between. Sometimes I miss trades because I'm focusing on swings, but then I stop looking at the chart for a little bit.
Speaking of stop looking at the chart for a little bit, Lunar popping above that 1465 that we outlined. Let's see if we can get some more juice here. It did it on volume, but it immediately knifed back. So in order for that to be profitable, you had to be quick. But it might not be done here on Lunar. We might still be going through the high.
All right, AMD's already giving us that nice little push here. We're going to take a little bit off here to pay ourselves, give ourselves some money, right? Going to take about 40% off on the tray here. 95 nice. Showing up. Sorry about that, man.
Nope, all good. This is literally happening in the moment. 1465, huge move through there, got almost as high as 16, currently holding above 15 on Lunar.
Just took some profit there on at the 86.98s there for AMD. Paid ourselves back in AMD. Of course, we had lost a little bit on AMD earlier, so I just got back to at least on the name break even. Now I actually am slightly up. I wouldn't consider this up, but now I'm going to look for the nice little push to give me the gains on AMD. Stopped out earlier, got the gains back. Now I can hold break even on the rest and look for the push. ASO, come on, man. You just keep flirting with this 6180s above here. And I can't get to the 62s. Come on. Last little push, ASO. Trying to take some profits. SEDG also looking for a nice little push towards the 330 close. Anything above that's going to be looking good. Of course, Honeywell. No pullback. 193s, 90s now. Almost up a point from where I was looking at it.
Lunar still going for that 16. All right, Mitch, I'm going to get rolling here.
Lunar 1570s, 1580s. Can we get the 16?
We might. And the other thing, keep OCEA on watch because that's not really breaking down here. Doesn't have the volume right now, but if we get another volume pop right here, we might go through 850 towards 9. So watch that. For the rest of the day here, we will be back here tomorrow. I will be back with you, Mitch, tomorrow. So have a good one, and we'll see you in the morning.
See you, my friend. Have a good one. Ryan's out of here. We'll definitely get Ryan out. Let's keep paying attention, see what else is being called out there. Definitely, team, smash the like. If you guys enjoying it today, 422 of you guys. Let's see if we can get to 300 likes. We get to 300 likes, I'll stick around for you guys. If not, probably going to start wrapping up in just a few minutes. But you guys smash it up out there. Ooh, OCEA. That crushed me earlier. AMD got up there to the 87, now pulling back here. So we got to go ahead and I'm going to set the break even for the rest of the position. But that's 86.54s. If that happens to hit, we'll just get stopped out on the rest. All right, stop set there for AMD, just a protective stop to make sure that we break even if we do get hit on this pullback here. SPY overall topping a little bit there, and that's where it gets a little bit concerning because you got this action, right? So now 3 times they try to get through here on the 401. We're going to look for the next time to really get through that. I call it the rule of 3, right? Now you've gotten that rule of 3. We could get a pullback level, right? Back towards 399.78. or the 425 on the VWAP. So just be careful on that. We'll look to see if we take out the highs. Apple starting to come through that 154.50. I really like Apple. I traded it yesterday to the upside. Maybe should have kept a little bit for the run, but it's looking good here as it starts working its way back to 155. If it gets to 157, 159, we could be on breakout alert there for Apple. Look at the weekly. Look at the monthlies. It's trying to get back through February's high, 157.38. That's really when we could see the kind of breakout for Apple. All right, keeping up with the chat. What's going on out there? ASO, Dottie by nature. Let's go. Let's take a look here. Trying to see that ASO get that little lift there towards 62. I did have an order out here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cancel it right now. Not trying to be on the book here, trying to let it push here and then give you that next step up and then take the profits and run here on ASO. Not going to take it all out, just looking to take half of it out there and then look to see if it can push past 62. But of course, DKS, I'd like to see that continue going, and that's pulling back right now. So that might be what's holding us back. This one's already ran big here up there to 51. Is this just too big, too fast of a move there for Dick's Sporting Goods? Something to keep in mind, right? I could hedge with ASO now and maybe short DKS here, but that's a little bit of a difficult trade for me to do live. Easy, I wonder what Easy Mike would say something like that, like pairs trading DKS, ASO now, but for reversal action, I don't know. I'm not the best pairs trader, so I'm not going to start testing around right now, but just talking about it, right? Like always, we always try to learn from other traders. I don't pairs trade often, but something that I've looked into. Shop, how's that one doing? It did pull back here, team. I like the pullback on a 15-minute basis towards the 45 spot here for Shop. If it could hold 45, it could reverse right back to the upside here. So I'm going to actually look to risk a tiny amount here towards around 44.80s. Let's see if I can get 44.90s, risk off 44.80s. Really tight risk here. Look for a nice little push back in Shop. All right, the order is out there to do it. Let's see if I get this pullback fill. There you go, pullback fill there on Shop. Going to risk off of, let's do 75 here on Shop. So risking off 75 here for Shop. Looking for the push back to VWAP. That's going to be the first move, and then looking for that real nice pushback here. 15-minute retracement level here on Shop. Going to look for it to come back here towards 46.60s, and then we can look for the 46 push. Of course, this is a really tight risk, but a bigger reward if it can come back to the upside. Smash the like, you guys. I'm taking a lot of trades consistently, trying to be more active. Just, of course, keeping the share size smaller to make sure that we don't get hit often, right? Next layer on Shop could get a pullback towards 70s. That's going to stop me out if it does get towards that 70, but I'm looking for that little 45 recovery here. We'll see what happens. AMD pulling back really close to stopping me out. We'll look to see if it gets to that VWAP and stops me out here. Remember, 86.54 is on that AMD. SPY pulling back. We talked about how it could pull back, test down here, and then try to come back. That's what I'm going to be looking for, at least for right now. You can see how we've gone up, down, up. We could come down here and test even down to here. I'll be looking for a little bit closer, more of that like kind of test off of the VWAP and coming right back up. But situational awareness, right? We could come back to support. We could hold VWAP. That's what I always like to think, team. Don't like to make expectations on what's going to happen, but more along what could happen, the potentials, the outcome, right? The uncertainties. Where is that? We'll look for strength through 401. If that happens later in the day, I think we can get that expansion move up, but we are getting some pullback here. So it's okay sometimes to run to some profits. AAL is one that got the 1680s today. Really hasn't really broken out for me. It's pulling back on the trend line too. I'm going to give it the opportunity. Definitely don't want to see this break like 1660s here, but giving it the chance, just still hasn't gotten that big run. Shop stopping me out on that pullback. Small little loss there on Shop. It's okay, team. It happens. Gave myself the risk, the reward, and glad that I got out there quickly versus staying in that big pullback. That's how you're going to be with that SPY pullback there to 400. You guys see it? That's a fast one there. Now I'm going to really take a look at like Morgan Stanley. I do like this right here. I'm going to go ahead and jump in a little bit short here. Willing to add here towards the VWAP 46. So short a little bit there. Let me see if I got some fill here. All right, just got a little bit there, and Morgan Stanley was battling, trying to get in there, tried to push it towards the 32s. So it took a little starter there on Morgan Stanley, and I'm looking for this shadow to fill on the downside. Risk for me can be right above it, right? I'm going to do 96 here with a smaller out there, looking for that. If it comes back to 96, it'll get me out. Crack down back below the lows. It's 94.90s. That's what I'm really looking for. Close below 95s today. We'll be looking great there. Ads will be towards 95.60s after this. We just got a little bit here on this pullback. Now we're going to look to see a real takedown on this Morgan Stanley. All right, that's going to be it for me, team. I hope you guys enjoyed today's action. 400 of you guys out there enjoying the action. There's still a lot of swing trades that I have on. SEDG, we'll see what happens there. Now it's starting to pull back. ASO, almost to the profit take, 61.90s. Looking to take a little bit of profit in this one. Let's go, team. See if I can get a little nice little push here. There's the 93s showing up. 90s off the bid. See if I can get a 94 fill here. 95. It's separating a little bit there. 92s by 86. One last little drive here, and we can just take the profits. All right, 87 on the bid there. Could be a little bit picky, but I'm going to go ahead and take some profits off there on ASO. Not going to be too mad about ASO. Taking a little bit of cash there. We'll see what happens on ASO if it can get through the 62. But not a bad trade there on ASO today. And we still got some swing trades on, right? AAL, we'll look to see if that can keep going. Morgan Stanley taking a shot on that one. SFM, we'll look to see if Sprouts can take that next leg up to 34. I'll take some profits at 34 and then look for it to continue working. We got in this one at 33 yesterday, looking for a buck on the first profit and then continuing to work. X coming down really fast, team. This is going to be one I'm going to have to keep a close eye on because it's going to need the bounce. It's going to maybe pull back even towards my entry right around that 29. Definitely don't want to see it break 29 on this pullback. We'll find out what happens there in steel. You guys smash the like. Enjoy all the action that we got for you guys right here on, of course, Benzinga today. Later today, we will have an interview with Blur. I don't know if you guys are into NFT markets, but definitely check it out. Blur will be joining the, of course, roadmap team. That's going to be at 2 p.m. No, that's at 3 p.m. 3 p.m. Eastern. Don't miss that, the roadmap team. And then Benzinga Live will be coming up next for you guys, so don't miss that. That starts at 11:30. I actually think today we're going to be starting up at 11, so don't stress that. That's coming up right now. Don't go anywhere. Pinkies up out there, team. And appreciate you guys coming in today, hitting the like and enjoying some live trading action. Let us know what you guys want to see more or less of on live trading. Hit the comments right now. What do you want to see? I'll go ahead and do that for you. See you next time, team.